Today we're looking at a Reebok model that has been one of my favorites for a very long time. In fact, ever since it was introduced. And this specific colorway and version, it's very interesting. I have some mixed feelings about it, but we're gonna check it out today. Hey guys, welcome back to our Kicks Reasons channel. Today we're looking at the Reebok Shaqnosis washed. And like I mentioned in the preview, this shoe is one of my all-time favorite designs from Reebok. Obviously, when this shoe was released, this was the last signature shoe for Shaq when he played for Orlando Magic. After that, the Preacher, the following model, was kind of introduced during the Olympics, and after the Olympics he was traded into the LA Lakers, and it was no more Orlando Magic. So this one is very special to me because I think and I consider Shaq's legacy in the Orlando Magic, and especially when it comes to his sneakers, to be far superior than anything else that came after that. This design from John Morris, obviously the designer of this shoe, and the designer of this shoe behind me here, the Kamikaze 2, two of the most recognizable and most amazing designs and sneakers of all time when it comes to basketball. There was a lot of interesting things introduced by this shoe, and a lot of interesting things that I really liked, and most notably was the visible hexalite. So not only the shoe had ultra hexalite and hexalite on the forefoot at the time, but also had a visible hexalite on the lateral side, which was again only seen and introduced by the Instapump Fury before that. It was the only sneaker that it was featuring visible hexalite on the side, but this was the first, or one of the first basketball shoes to feature that. Let's go into this one and look at the details. Now, interesting concept here. I get what Reebok are doing, kind of like having that same view or same vision of the Shattered Backboard. If you remember the sort of now very rare Reebok Shaq Attack that was released about I don't know, 10 11 12 years ago as part of the initial push of the return of the Shaq Attack, and one of the colorways was the blue and dubbed the Shattered Backboard. So this is the effect they have here. The upper has this kind of a paint that it's chipping away or it's cracking. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it, never been a huge fan of it. This is what reminds me of some of those original sneakers that I have in my possession that after 30 years, especially synthetics, they start to break in like this. They start to crack and peel. Now this is not going to crack or peel anytime soon because of what the paint is, and because the materials are actually genuine underneath, and even the overlays of the hypnosis effect. You know, obviously you guys know the history of the Shaqnosis hypnosis, how you put both sneakers together and make that concentric hypnosis lines, but even those elements are genuine material. They're genuine suede, and this is one of the things that I appreciate here, using genuine materials. Even if the original pair back in the day did not use genuine materials, especially the one released for the public. I'm not sure if Shaq's personal MP version, the one that was higher, the one that had Instapump on the side, and it was inflating his all-around color. Obviously, the one that most of you are familiar did not have the pump system. Only Japan specific version had the midfoot section with the pump. Those are extremely rare, and I've only seen them in pictures. But back to this, I think this kind of a off-white base plus the washed out black, or more like a dark gray now, effect from a distance looks great. Almost looks great as the original one. Even the Vector logo in the middle now is in that kind of blue, a light blue color, instead of the normal silver. This element is nice. I really like that. Kind of preserves the identity of the shoe from back in the day. Now the things I'm not really happy about is the outsole is already pre-aged, and some of you know, if you have sneakers that are like 10 15 plus years, especially if they've been exposed to UV light, you've been wearing them, you've been leaving them outside, you will notice that the outsole of those shoes gets kind of a yellow, and even more yellow, and gets hardened. Now they pre-age this. Obviously this is a brand new sneaker, but they pre-age this to look like that, and I'm not a fan of that. Honestly, never been. It's one of the things that bother me when shoes started to age. The other thing that bothered me here, if you look at the hexalite on the heel it's somewhat okay, and actually resembles of the original one. If you push with your finger, it actually gives away and all that stuff. And also there's a hexalite on visible hexalite on the lateral side, which is again great, because if you remember one of my older videos of the reverse Shaqnosis, the black with the white lines, that one, instead of hexalite here, it was just painted. The hexalite was not even existing. But what bothers me in the forefoot, you see how that plastic or the rubber bulges over the hexalite, like it's not part of the hexalite patch. Could be just my specific pair, but this is just not looking good. It's not anything that you would expect. There's no quality here, no quality control. I'm not sure if the quality has dropped significantly. I mean, obviously it has, but where's the quality control when it comes to this? This kind of stuff should not happen. The layer on top of the hexalite should be attached to the cells and not bulging already. Other than that, the rest of it looks pretty on point. These are produced in January of 25, released in kind of like spring, early summer of 25. At the time I missed them, but now they are all over the Reebok factory stores or Reebok outlets. And nice guy from Texas, Houston area, that it's my connect in Instagram, hit me up and said, hey, these are available around here for around $60 some. Would you like me to grab you a pair? And I said, yeah, of course, grab me one. Let me see what they are all about. And they arrived. So super happy about that. Appreciate you hooking me up with this pair. And yeah, now we can look at them. What I really like about this model back in the day was the lockdown you're getting from the tone and the extra heel cup. Both of them, when they go around your foot and kind of reunite, the heel cup goes from the back to the front, and the tone, because it's so wide and big, goes from the front to the back, kind of locks everything together. Gives you a great lockdown, gives you a great hug around your feet. I really like that sensation, and I always liked it. And if I pull the insole out, the insole is nothing special, just your regular, again, right out of the mill insole. Luckily this one is EVA based, so again, EVA based is not gonna dissipate, it's not gonna crumble after a certain amount of years. It's not gonna be you know, you're not gonna have to worry about pulling them out and throwing them away before they ruin your sneakers. So I'm not offended by that. And what we have on top of them is just Reebok and Shaq's logo. Again, different than the original one. The original one had just a vector and Reebok written on top of it. But the rest of it, again, fine. Stitching on the forefoot, I'm glad that it's real stitching. It's not faux, it's not just rubber made to look like stitching in some other models we've seen. Round laces, and these are reflective round laces. They're black predominantly, but they have these lines of speckles or fabric that it's reflective in it, and it's very good. And of course, Shaq Dunkman logo on the toe box, and the same one on the heel. Those of you that know your OGs, you know that the logo in the back was a little bit different. Where Shaq grabs the rim and the ball goes through it, actually had additional stitching to kind of really visualize the rim and the backboard, not just the rim itself. But yeah, I think and the Hypnosis lines are matching with the midsole in this specific pair, which I'm really happy with, because if you remember the very first release of this shoe a while back, these were all over the place, not matching the black portion of the midsole. But those are really nice. And again, the synthetic portions are that pull tab on the back. This is synthetic nubuck, and when the tone it says Reebok, the underlay is synthetic nubuck as well, just like those lines going underneath the actual laces. Those were created to eliminate the pressure over your tone. And the overall shape of the shoe is really nice. I went with my true size, as I know Shaqnosis fits true to size, always have been. And one more into my collection that I really am appreciating what Reebok have done here. Now, quality and execution, obviously we can ask for more and we should demanding more, but again, I'm glad that I didn't pay full retail on these ones. And for $60 some, I'm willing to forget about the imperfections and all that stuff. And I'm definitely excited that these are my possession, because Shaqnosis really needs to be two colors kind of a blocking. It should be a white base with the black, or black with a white, or any kind of solid base with some contrasted lines on top of it. I know a lot of models over the years released that are sort of muted, you know, black base with royal blue lines. It doesn't work with the shoe. This shoe was special because it was so noticeable, it was so different, and it could have seen it from like miles away and know exactly what shoe this is. Excellent design by John Morris. Big shout out, incredible guy. Big shout out for all of his designs. Obviously, I know most of them, but he was the father of the shoe. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the rest of the videos coming very, very soon. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.